Welcome to Information Governance Challenges in Sarawak, Federal State Issues and Security Governance in the Malaysia Public Sector.
Assalamualaikum and good day to everyone, especially our Madam Nordin and Mati Nordin. Today I present the introduction for our assignment, which is Information Governance Challenge in Sarawak, Federal State Issue and Security Governance in the Malaysian Public Sector. To begin with, governance plays a crucial role in government system by supporting effective decision making, first resource management, and public accountability. Strong governance promotes transparency and trust, while weak governance can lead to inequality and public dissatisfaction. In Malaysia, governance challenges exist across political, economic, and institutional levels. A major issue is the relationship between the federal government and the state of Sarawak. Sarawak joined Malaysia in 1963 under the Malaysian Agreement, which is MA63, which promised greater autonomy in areas such as resource management and local administration. However, many Sarawakians believe this promise have not been fully implemented. Although Sarawak is rich in natural resources like oil and gas, it continues to lag behind Peninsula Malaysia in development, particularly in education, healthcare, and infrastructure. This has led to ongoing demands for greater state autonomy and fairer revenue distribution. At the same time, Malaysia faces growing challenges in information governance and information security as public sectors become increasingly digital. Information security is often managed only at the technical level with limited involvement from top leadership, resulting in low awareness, weak policies, and slow response to cyber threats. This study highlights the need for better cooperation between federal and state government in strengthening information governance to improve public sector performance and national development.
Next, I will explain about research objective. This study aims to analyze information governance practices in Sarawak, focusing on how organizations manage, protect, and use information to support operations. Good governance ensures efficiency, accountability, and regulatory compliance. This research also identifies key challenges such as outdated technology, inconsistent policies, limited staff knowledge, and security risks, which hinder effective information governance. Furthermore, it examines how poor governance affects organizational performance and public service quality. Finally, the study proposed strategies to improve information governance for long-term sustainability in Sarawak.
Research question. Number 1 is what the main challenges of information governance in Sarawak in relation to the federal state governance structure. Number 2 is how the organisation and leadership factors influence information security governance in Malaysia public sector. Number 3 is what the strategy can be adopted to strengthen governance, accountability, and digital resilience in Sarawak's public administration. This study examines information governance in Sarawak within Malaysia federal system, where state autonomy and federal authority require continuous negotiation. This governance dynamic creates challenges such as fragmented governance frameworks, overlapping legal responsibility, and weak policy coordination, which are further intensified by the digital forensic demands like information security and data protection. The study also highlights how organizational capacity, leadership commitment, and institutional culture influence information security governance in the Malaysian public sector. Overall, the research aimed to identify strategies to strengthen governance, accountability, and digital resilience in Sarawak public administration. Kau aku tak tekan.
Next is research methodology. This research employed qualitative document analysis as the primary method of data analysis. The study involved a critical review of scholarly journal articles, policy documents, and reputable publications related to federal-state relations in Malaysia. These sources were systematically examined to identify requiring underlying issues and differing academic viewpoints. Particular focus was given to socio-economic development, state autonomy, governance, and distributions of resources. The data were then compared across sources to identify key trends, similarities, and differences. This process enables the findings to be critically evaluated in line with the research objectives and supported the development of informed conclusions.
Literature review. In the public sector, information governance refers to the rules, process, and organizational structure used to manage data throughout its life cycle. In Malaysia, effective information governance is increasingly recognized as the essential for data quality, accountability, regulatory compliance, and the protection of public information. However, studies show that public sector organizations face challenges such as limited leadership commitments, resource constraints, employees' resistance, and weak organizational culture, which increase vulnerability to data breaches and cyber threats. Sarawak governance context is shaped by its constitutional authority under the Malaysia Agreement 1963, requirement federal policy to be adopted to local legal, geographic, and administrative conditions. While the state-led modernization initiative have strengthened data collection and perform monitoring, federal-state tension over authority and funding continue to influence governance outcomes. To address these challenges, security governance must be adapted within broader organizational and governance framework, emphasizing leadership commitments, accountability, and a strong security-oriented culture.
Next, I will present the finding based on our research question. The first one is the federal state governance structure and Sarawak information governance. The first main challenge is the centralization of information governance authority. Sarawak depends heavily on centralized federal governance, which leave a little gap for local adaptation. This can cause confusion over data ownership, slow down digital services, and limit local innovation. There is also policy misalignment and administrative fragmentation. Federal policy and state operational needs often mismatch, leading to inconsistent record management, data standard, and service delivery. Finally, there is inequality in digital infrastructure. Cities like Kuching and Miri have a good internet, modern ICT tools, and trained staff. In contrast, in rural areas, they face a poor connectivity and outdated technology, resulting in uneven service delivery. The second one is organizational and leadership influence on information security governance. Effective information security governance relies on leadership commitment, where leaders treat security as strategy, they allocate resources, provide training, and enforce proactive policies. If security is seen only as a technical issue handled by ICT units, Information governance will weaken and staff may ignore the guidelines. Next, organizational structure and accountability also matter. Clear roles, oversight, and aligned planning strengthen governance. Assign responsibility only to technical teams, reduce accountability, and increase risks. Besides that, organizational culture and security awareness are critical. Training, leadership communication, and community security AZZATUL help create a proactive security culture. In Sarawak, this bridge the gap between policy and practice. Lastly is strengthening governance, accountability, and digital resilience. To improve governance, enhancing federal-state coordination is essential. Shared platforms and councils allow Sarawak to influence national policy while maintaining local flexibility. Another one is a capacity building and leadership development, strengthen institutional readiness. Training in governance, digital services, and risk management ensure alignment with federal standards while allowing adaptability. The last one is a risk-based governance and accountability frameworks. Help monitor practice, prioritize intervention, and allocate resources and increase transparency.
Now we will move to recommendations. The first one is standardized policies. Organizations should implement clear and uniform information governance policies aligned with national regulation to ensure consistency and accountability. The second one is upgrade technology. Investing in integrated digital system will improve data access, accuracy, and security, especially in rural areas. The third one is staff training. Regular workshop and awareness program will strengthen staff skill and understanding of information governance. The fourth one is enhanced security. Strong access control, encryption, audits, and incident response plans are needed to protect sensitive data. Next is collaboration. Government agency, professionals, and regulators should work together to share best practices and harmonize frameworks. And the last one is continuous monitoring. Policies and systems must be regularly reviewed to maintain effective and sustainable information governance.
In conclusions, the issues of federalism between Sarawak and federal governments of Malaysia remains a sensitive and complex matter shaped by historical agreements, socio-economics, inequality, and political factors. Challenges such as limited state autonomy, unequal resource distributions indicate infrastructures and development, insufficient protections of indigenous communities, or marginalizations in national politics will contribute to ongoing dissatisfactions in Sarawak. To strengthen federal-state relations and promote more balanced development, this study proposed several key measures, including greater state autonomy, various resources sharing, targeted development programs, structured federal-state dialogues, stronger protections of indigenous rights, political reform, and the decentralizations of education. By implementing these measures, these mutual respect and cooperative efforts, Malaysia can move toward a more inclusive, equitable, and harmonious federations that benefits all nations.
Thank you for watching.